All right, let's look at exercises 1.3 A and B. 1.3A we're not going to spend any time on because it's just going to have you draw some line lengths and do some different things. Really the goal there is to teach you that the human eye is not as accurate as we would like it to be. So it just goes to show that in this class you don't want to do a whole lot of estimating, you want to be really precise. 1.3b is going to have us do some more, just like in the chapter, it's going to have us do some algebra to help solve some of this geometry. Number one says to divide a 5-inch line into two parts. We're going to have a 1a and a 1b. 1a says divide it into two parts so that one part is 2 1/4 inches shorter than the other. So I know I'm going to let x equal the shorter one. So x equals the shorter one. All right, and I'm going to let x plus 2 1/4 equal the longer one. All right, so now I've got x is my shorter section of line. That plus 2 1/4 inches, because that one's 2 1/4 inches shorter than this, is my longer one. When I add those two things together, x plus 2 1/4, I know the overall length of it was 5 inches. So now I'm just going to do the algebra to it. So we're going to combine all like terms and get 2x plus 2 1/4 equals 5. I'm going to start isolating my variable by moving everything else to the other side. So we get 2x equals, that would be 5 minus 2 is 3, minus another quarter is 2 3/4. And then I'm going to divide by 2. Dividing this by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal, so I'm going to multiply by 1/2. X equals 1 3/8. 1 3/8. All right, you can work that out more. We know how to do this, but I don't need to test you on how to multiply or divide fractions. The second part of it, part B, 1b says to take that same 5-inch line, divide it into two lengths to where one is 3 times the other. So I know that I'm going to let x equal my shorter one again. And then I'm going to let, it needs to be 3 times x. It's my longer one. When I add those two things together, x plus 3x, I should get 5 inches. So I get 4x equals 5, x equals 5 fourths, or 1 1/4 inches. So if this one is 1 1/4 inches, the shorter one, I know the longer one is 3 times that. Or I could just subtract this from 5 inches and get the answer 2, which would be 4 3/4. No, 3 3/4. All right, so one is 1 1/4 inches long, the other one is 3 3/4 inches long. All right, so that gets us through number 1 on exercise 1.3b. Let's look at number 2. So number 2 says divide a 5 1/4 inch line into 3 parts whose ratios are 1, 2, and 3. So I know I'm going to let x equal first part, which there's an understood 1 there. I'm going to let 2x equal second part, and I'm going to let 3x equal the third part. So being that there's an understood 1 there, this is the ratio of 1 to 2 to 3 on each part. So if I want to determine how long each one of those are, I'm going to add these 3 things together. I'm going to have x plus 2x plus 3x equals, and this one's overall length was 5 1/4. I'm looking at it right. 1, 2, 3, 5 1/4. Yep. So when I combine all my like terms, 1x plus 2x is 3x plus 3x is 6x equals 5 1/4. And I'm going to divide by 6. I know that dividing by 6 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/6. I don't care if you use your calculator on this. I know you've proven your fractions to me. So when I multiply 5 1/4 by 1/6, I'm going to get 1 1/3. Which means that 2x is going to be 2 times that. So I'm going to get, I did it wrong, not 1 1/3. First one is going to be 7/8. When I multiply that time 2, I'm going to get 1 3/4. And when I multiply that by 3, I'm going to get 2 5/8. Of course, if you don't remember how to do that in your calculator, on your graphing calculator, TI-84, whatever you have, when you do 5 1/4, put it in parentheses, you can hit divide by 6 like we did, or you can multiply by 1/6, hit the math button, hit the frac button, or the frac option, which is number 1, enter, and it will give you the reduced fraction, which is 7/8. Then you can just hit, once you have that answer, you can hit second enter. And it'll pop it back up, and you can hit the multiplication times 2, math, frac, and it'll give you the 1 3/4. It'll probably give it to you as 7/4, so you know how to handle that. All right, so there's your number 2 on exercise 1.3b. All right, number 3, divide a 7-inch line into 3 parts so that each part is 1 inch longer than the one before it. All right, so I'm going to let x equal the first part. And I know that I want each part to be 1 inch longer than the previous. So the next one's going to be let x plus 1 equal the second part, and let x plus 1, which is the second part, plus 1 more inch equal the third part. All right, now when I add all those three parts together, I should come back to a total of 7 inches. So I'm going to say x plus 1 plus x plus 1 equals 7 inches. Combine all like terms, 1, 2, 3 x's, so I get 3x plus 1, 2, 3 inches equals 7. Subtract 3. Get 3x equals 4. Divide by 3. Get x equals 1 1/3 inches. So the next one is going to be 2 1/3 inches, and the last one is going to be 3 1/3 inches because I'm adding 1 inch to each one of those answers. All right. Number 4. Divide a 6 3/4 inch line into 3 parts so that each part is a 1/4 inch shorter than the one before it. So I know, again, we'll let x equal the first. And I want each one to be a 1/4 inch shorter than the one before it. So I'm gonna have the next one is gonna be whatever X was minus a quarter inch, a second. Then I'm gonna have that one, and I'm gonna subtract a quarter inch from it. Alright, so it's 3 parts, right? Divide a 6 3/4 inch line into 3 parts so that each part is a quarter inch shorter than the one before it. So I'm gonna add these 3 things together. I've got X plus X minus a quarter plus X minus a quarter equals, it was a 6 3/4 inch line. 6 3/4 inch. Okay, combine like terms, 1x, 2x, 3x, 3x. Negative minus a negative minus a negative, I'm gonna have a negative, and I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 equals 6 3/4. Isolate the variable by moving everything to the other side. I'm gonna get 3x equals 7 1/2. 3/4 plus 3/4 is a half. Divide by 3. It's the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. Again, use your calculator for this. You've shown that you know how to do that much in previous classes, so I'm going to get 2 1/2. Alright, so then to find the second one, I would subtract a quarter inch from that, which would be 2 1/4. Next one, I'm going to subtract a quarter inch from that one, and I'm going to get 2. So I'm going to get 2 1/2. Subtract a quarter from it, I get 2 1/4. Subtract a quarter from that, I'm going to get 2. So yeah, that's my 3 measurements. All right. Number 5. If we represent the length of a line by A, how may we represent the length of a line that is 3 inches longer? Okay, so if we represent the length of a line by A, represent the length of the line by A, how may we represent the length of a line that is 3 inches longer? So that would be A plus 3. If the combined length of the 2 lines is 15 inches, what is the length of each line? All right, so that's the first part of my question. The second part says the combined length is 15 inches. So the combined length basically means I'm taking my A and then I'm adding the second one that's 3 inches longer, and it's going to equal 15. A plus A is 2A plus 3 equals 15. Isolate my variable, I get 2A equals 12. Get A equals 6 inches. All right, if I add 3 to that, I get 9. 9 plus 6 equals 15. All right, so I'm going to stop there. That's 5 of the exercises. That should get you rolling. Anything beyond that, you can reach out to me and we can